Going into last night, this had not been the most amazing World Series. Hell, I think we'd all agree. The first 5 games were not that good at all. But Game 6 was unbelievable. Hell of a game, an insane ride, and a game that broke into 2 separate parts. There was what happened before the incident, and then there was what happened after the incident. And if you don't know what the incident was, I'm not sure what game you were watching. Washington went into last night's game having lost 3 straight at home. And it wasn't just that they lost 3 straight, it's how they lost. They got hammered over the weekend. They went from being up 2-0 to down 3-2, and they scored a total of 3 runs in those 3 games. Seemed like they had lost their mojo completely. And then they had to come back and deal with Justin Verlander in Houston and a crowd that was insane, knowing they needed just 1 win to finish. Nats needed that win to stay alive. But the thing about the Nats, as badly as they played, even with their backs to the wall, you know they'd have it no other way. They live for that. They love that. To be the man, you have to beat the man, and they probably loved the fact that they were going to have to beat arguably the best American League pitcher of a generation, and they were going to have to do it on the road to stay alive. But again, I'm going to say they love that. They love it because, as I tweeted last night, these are some BMFs, and they came out firing. Their leadoff hitter, Trey Turner. And if you didn't know about this guy before, he is the ultimate gamer. This guy is so tough. He gets on base. Adam Eaton moves him over, and then Anthony Rendon comes up. 1-0 Nats. Remember those names. Turner, Eaton, Rendon, because they're going to get mentioned a time or 2 again. But then the Astros come right back. Their bats woke up in the district. They started playing Astros baseball again, and that continued in the bottom of the first. George Springer leads off with a double. He goes to third on a wild pitch, and Jose Altuve brings him home with a sac fly. Michael Brantley strikes out. Then comes Alex Bregman. 2-1 Astros, but the most important part of that home run was not the home run or the run that went on the board. It was the run around the bases, and the fact that Alex Bregman achieved godlike status by carrying the bat with him down to first base and trying to hand it to the first base coach. That is incredible. Bat flips are so regular season, but the bat carry is now. And the bat carry is awesome. Bat flips are tired. The bat carry is wired. And yes, I know the red asses who police the game are not going to like that. I just don't give a crap. You're playing at home. Game 6 of the World Series. You just went yard. I don't care if this guy runs back to the on-deck circle and grabs a second bat for the journey. I don't care if this guy went Barry Bonds, pirouette in the box, flap down a la Jeffrey Leonard, and then skipped around the bases backwards and took 5 minutes to do it. The only problem that I had with the bat carry was that Alex Bregman apologized for it. Alex, sorry. Apology not accepted. I'm not hearing it. I'm not having it because you have nothing to apologize for, hero, because that was awesome. Carrying a bat down to first base is not ruining the game. It's improving the game. He didn't disrespect the game. He fixed the game. And if you don't believe me, ask one of the guys that he allegedly was showing up. National stud, Juan Soto. He saw it and he loved it. Quote, it's pretty cool. I want to do it too. That's what I think when I saw that. I get the opportunity and I do the same thing. End quote. And he did. So, if the most electric guy in the other dugout was not offended by it, why should anyone else be? The answer is, you shouldn't. So the Astros have the lead. That house was rocking. And if Houston were playing any other team, you might have been able to start to count down the outs until the champagne. But again, the Nats are not any other team. We know this. Juan Jose Soto, the inventor of the Soto Shuffle. Man, that was not a home run either. That was just a joke. A complete and utter joke. A complete and utter joke that a guy that young is crushing baseballs like that. And yes, the only thing better than the home run was the fact that he did carry his bat down to first base. So for all you haters, red assers. Take a seat, meat. I've got no time for people complaining about that. Besides, it's not like Bregman and Soto just invented that last night. Bartolo Colon was doing that years ago. He's the real OG of the bat carry. So 3-2 Nats in the fifth. But the Astros came right back in the bottom of the inning. Runners in second and third. One out. But Steven Strasburg gets Altuve to strike out and Brantley to ground out. And notice, that's the first time I've mentioned Strasburg's name. But it won't be the last. But as much as you want to think the last night was about Strasburg or Verlander or Bregman or Soto, you're wrong. Because here comes Samuel Woodford Holbrook. And he's about to yank the entire spotlight for himself. Because the only thing worse than knowing an umpire's name is knowing an umpire's government. And if I'm doing that, you know there's a damn good reason. A damn good chance that someone in blue made a potential World Series changing mistake. Top of the seventh, runner on first. Brad Peacock pitching for Houston. Trey Turner at the plate. Turner sprints down the line. He gets to first as the ball is coming in. It gets away from Gurriel at first. He goes to second. Yan Gomes goes to third. Suddenly, the Nats are cooking. Runner is on second and third. Nobody out. Except that's not what happened because the home plate umpire, Sam Holbrook, called Turner out for runner interference. He went Rule 509A11 on everybody. Turner is out. Gomes goes back to first. Hell yes. That's awesome. How very umpire of them. I know you were enjoying this game between the two teams, but what about us? What about the umps? Are you paying and watching to see players play? Or are you there to see the umps ump? Am I right? So, it was time for the umps to take over, and they did. And Nationals manager Dave Martinez was raging, and so were a number of baseball players on Twitter. Quickly, on Twitter, Jake Arrieta, quote, "That is an absolutely awful call. What are we doing?" Travis Shaw on Twitter, "Dumbest rule in Major League Baseball. Absolutely no reason for that to be called ever." Delino DeShields on Twitter, "You can't make that call in the World Series. The ball took the first baseman off the base." Gaucho Michael Young on Twitter, "That is a complete and total embarrassment." Gaucho's right. It was a complete and total embarrassment. But if there's one thing you can bet on, it's the fact that the umpires will make complete and total embarrassments of themselves. It's their brand. Like, what was Turner supposed to do in that situation? Where was he supposed to go? What did he even do wrong? And yes, I know it's a judgment call, and judgment calls are not reviewable, and that it's a rule. Except it's a bad rule. In fact, it's possibly the worst rule, and it's a rule that should have been changed a long time ago. So it does not turn into a controversial moment in Game 6 of the World Series, like it just did. You know, the argument would be that Turner was inside the baseline, but the base itself is inside the baseline. The shortest route to the base is running directly at it, which is inside the baseline. And then the Nats would tell you the only reason why Turner ran into Gurriel's glove and was hit by the ball was because the throw was bad. And wasn't Turner already on first base when he hit the glove? So where was the guy supposed to be? And Dave Martinez was raging. Man, I can't even get through the entire open. I have so much to say about that. All right, so I will finish that thought momentarily. Yes, he got kicked out of the game. No, a manager should never get kicked out of a World Series game. But can you blame this guy for reacting the way he did? And even worse, Joe Torre had the best seat in the entire house and did nothing. And that's his job.